Looking for inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ? Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Attention ministry leaders. Have you ever considered growing your ministry with television? Well, the Daily Gospel Network could be what you've been looking for. As one of the nation's largest Christian broadcasting companies, the Daily Gospel Network broadcasts all over the world on popular streaming platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. If you're looking to grow and reach more people, the Daily Gospel Network could be your solution.
Get ready for Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Ignite your spirit and fuel your passion for life with inspiring stories, empowering guests, and transformative ideas. Whether you're pursuing dreams, overcoming challenges, or seeking a spark of positivity, you're in the right place. Together, we'll explore resilience, creativity, and our limitless potential. So sit back and prepare to be inspired. Let's unlock incredible possibilities on Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson.
Hello, and welcome to Purpose Today. I'm your host, Dr. April Dobson, and I'm very excited for a power-packed show that we have for you today. We have special guest, Suzanne La Voie Sammon. She is with High Rise Tourism and a best-selling author, podcast host, and a travel guru. Don't wait. We'll be right back with Purpose Today.
Looking for inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ? Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Welcome back to Purpose Today. I'm very excited to have our special guest, Suzanne La Voie Sammon. Welcome to Purpose Today, Susan.
Thank you so much. I am so grateful to be here and to talk about so many of my passions. And I am just so grateful for this opportunity to be with you today.
Thank you, Suzanne. And it's certainly a pleasure to have you here on the show today. So would you please just share what you would like our viewers to know about you?
Overall, I'm what they call a, multi-passionate creative. I absolutely just love having experiences in life and living life to the fullest. I have a huge zest for just getting out there and not just experiencing things, but doing a lot of different things. I'm a multi-passionate entrepreneur, which I'll be talking about in the podcast here. But I also have a special love for helping to inspire and empower people. I have been through a lot throughout my life. I'm in my 50s and I have half a lifetime of lessons and insights and perspectives that I just love to share because life definitely presents its share of challenges. And if there's any way that I can help empower people to tap into the strengths and skills and talents that they have, I look for multiple ways of doing that.
That's wonderful, Suzanne. We really appreciate you sharing that. And, I know that a lot of our viewers who are watching today are going to benefit from, what you're going to share. And I'm so glad that you're doing many things that you love. And as you know, this show really exists for that purpose. Purpose Today exists to really inspire our viewers to do what they love, to pursue their purpose. and, what they're passionate about. And so would you please share information a little bit more about what you do?
Well, I definitely I just started my own podcast, which I am really, really excited about. I share a platform with a wonderful woman. Her name is Edna White, and hers is Keeping It Real on Purpose. But my podcast space is called Mindful Wanderers Journeys Within. And I started recording in October. I've gotten a huge response already, and I'm just like overwhelmed about it. But because I seek to inspire people. What it is that I believe that people are their own inner tour guides, and we navigate so many paths in our life, and we have destinations that we want to go to. So Mindful Wanderer is about, it's okay because for me, I'm what they call a free spirit. I love just, again, not always knowing where my path is going to take me. I think about it as a traveler. There have been many times where I've been in another state and I get thrown off course with the direction, and then I get detoured, but then I find something that, wow, I never would have seen this if I hadn't got thrown off on that detour. And that's how life is. We're constantly being thrown detours, and we're not always happy about it. It may take us longer sometimes to get to a particular destination, but then we might have a new destination that appears. And it's all about that mindfulness, and each day soaking in the present and being energetically aligned with what you're about and who you're about. So my podcast is just about so many different life experiences. With November this month, I'm going to be focusing a lot on gratitude and Thanksgiving, and just a lot of fun memories and traditions. So it's definitely something that I'm loving doing. And of course, I love being a guest on podcasts like this too. It's just anywhere to get my messages out.
Well, thank you so much, Suzanne. And I do know that, there are times, like you said, when we're taking trips and we have a detour. And then sometimes in life, we have some, detours or road bumps or things like that. And I think that's those times in life, it's important. You said to be in the present, but I think it's also important for us to focus on, what our overall goal is, what our purpose is, where we're heading. And if we know truly where we're heading, even when there's a detour, we're able to map a new route. We're able to bounce back quickly. And it's about making sure that we don't get stuck in the moments when things don't go the way that we want them to go. But when we stay positive and we have the right mindset, I think that really accelerates how quickly we're able to get back on track after a detour. Would you agree?
Yes, absolutely. Just makes
Wonderful.
it exciting that way too.
Yes, very much so. And, I really appreciate you sharing that insight. And I know that you mentioned, the things that you've done, that you've started, that you've newly started, and some things that you've already been doing. So congratulations on starting your new podcast. I think that's amazing. So is this something that you've, always wanted to do, or these paths that you've already, taken, or could you just share, how you went about launching this business? What inspired you and the podcast?
Yes, the podcast, I had been wanting to do my own podcast for quite a while, but it really became very evident this year. I actually had a journey of over a year ago. I was diagnosed with an advanced autoimmune condition, and it really slowed me down. And I had to really focus on my healing, and I had to confront a lot of things that had changed in my life at that time, and really evaluating about, okay, where is this leading me? And once I got through the initial grief of how this changed me, but also it gave me an opportunity to reevaluate and what I really wanted for my life. And one of the goals was starting this podcast. And also, I want to talk about my author journey too, because that also has been a big part of how everything has been. So in 2016, I actually was confronted with another illness back then, and I was homebound. And writing had been something that I've been passionate about all of my life. It helped me so much when I was being bullied in school and some other personal challenges I was dealing with. And writing was my safe space. It was where I could totally be myself and not feel like I was being judged or bullied or anything. And it just continued to grow and evolve over time. And I had a dream of writing my own book because I'm an avid reader. I've been reading. Libraries were my favorite places. They still are to this day. So I always wanted to write a book. And in 2016, again, I had a big detour that I wasn't expecting. And I'm like, okay, I must be a new destination. Where am I going now? And on my social media, I came across a woman who was looking for writers to get published in a compilation. And it was a subject very dear to my heart. It was about suicide survivors, which I am one. I'm very grateful to be here and be able to share. And she was looking for people to share their stories and their chapter in that. So it was a chance for me to get my message out there, to share about something that, again, was very dear to my heart, and also to become a published author. And in 2016, December of 2016, I became a published author with this book. And I was just, to see your name in print like that, and something that you created and that you wrote and was out there for the world to see, it became a bestseller. And it was just absolutely amazing. I still keep in touch with the publisher to this day. And then this ultimately led to my solo book, which is Night Shift. And that's the first of a series. The second one should be coming out very soon. This one was inspired by my personal and professional experiences. It's a fiction book, but a lot of what I'm writing in this series was based from after I got divorced and I was reinventing myself. And it's based in one of my favorite vacation places in the world, Lake George, New York, and in my hospitality career as well. So I will just, I'm just so amazed at how this came about. And I met another publisher in Canada. And
That's fantastic.
Yep. So anyway, this led to other books and everything. But my travel with high rise, or my travel experiences, especially in Lake George, led me to doing a business. And I wanted to do something very special with tourism and hospitality, because that is where I really found myself. And tourism is something that, one thing with my family when we were growing up, and we didn't have a lot of money, but they made experiences for us. And it was just absolutely incredible how, they always made sure that we did something fun, whether it was a zoo or whether it was a museum or going to the park or the beach or something. We were always having something to do. And that's something that I felt got lost over the years with, with family situations where everything becomes about work or, different responsibilities. And as children, we have fun all the time, but it was, it was just like, we got to have fun. We got to have experiences, as the family system, like it's important to always have those activities. And so my social media, especially after the pandemic, became a fountain of promoting tourism businesses, because they were desperately looking for people to come back. And I was promoting restaurants. I was promoting anything to do with tourism to get people to come back. And I realized, what? I could make this into a business. It's a passion of mine. It's one of my biggest passions. I often get called the social media tour guide, and I've had people like come to me and say, like, I didn't know about this place. This is so great that you shared, and it was amazing. Even in my own area, there are still places that I'm discovering. So I wanted to come up with a name for the business, and I was going over many different things, and then all of a sudden, I have a fascination with skyscrapers and
Wow.
high rises, and I love like what a high rise represents because when you're up at the top, I mean, you see everything. You just see like so far and possibilities and everything. So I just thought high rise tourism, and it just meshed. Like it just was like this is it. So around 2021, I launched High Rise Tourism, and I had somebody to help me put together a beautiful website. And it's allowed me to, part of it is a blog, and part of it too is different services that I provide, but it's about becoming our own inner high rises, and it's a way of me being able to get that passion out there and being able to highlight what has been there for me, what has been special for me. And it's just such a beautiful thing for me. Like this high rise tourism has blessed my life in so many ways. I did have to take a sabbatical from it to deal with a health challenge, but I'm back in it full swing, and I just absolutely love it. There are so many things happening with it now that are incredible. So I am just so excited.
That's awesome. So, how would viewers, if they're interested in the services and products that High Rise Tourism offers, how would they find your website?
So my website is www.highrisetourism.com, and it's all one word. And there is an email, a way to get your email in there, and it reaches me personally and everything. But services that I offer on the site, I do a lot of promotion, and that can be through blogging, that can be helping with content with your own sites. I'm also an editor, and there are times where I do see an ad where, you know, there are a couple of errors or something. And so I would definitely help with making sure that those posts and ads are the best that they are, and their representation of the business. And I come from a different perspective with it. You know, I know like the typical framework is building from something like a problem or something that needs to be fixed. I come from what's working well. And that's always just been my philosophy. Like when I go to a place, I look at what's working well or what's right with a business, and I look to expand on that. Again, that's where it comes from, high rise tourism.
That's awesome.
And I love it. And I think about like if I go to a restaurant and I see that, you know, oh, this food is amazing and the building is beautiful and the people are just magnetic, then I think about, oh, this would be a great place to do events, like book events or something, or even having, you know, there just could be so many things. So that's like what I do. I do like an assessment of a business and going over and like, okay, let's see how we can expand this, you know, maybe helping go out into the community, networking groups. You know, a business doesn't have to be its own island. I mean, there's many different ways.
Right.
I have learned so many networking techniques through being an author as well. And also too, I offer, again, willing to do blog posts, and with the promotion, I do calls. I do business calls, I do coaching calls, and I can do professional business coaching calls, and I can also do the inner tour guide life coaching calls as well.
That's awesome. You know, definitely with this show, we always want to find a way to help our viewers and to really equip them to have success and do what they love doing and ensure that they're living, you know, a purpose-filled life. So for our viewers, and we thank you to all the viewers who are watching, for our viewers who have an interest in vlogging or launching their own tourism business, what advice would you give those viewers?
So I would look at what is something that fires you up, that you really feel passionate about, whether it's eating out at different restaurants or whether it's going to festivals or going on a day trip. Find something that really fires you up. And what I did is I started before I even had high rise tourism launched. What I did was I would go to like car shows or events or smaller venues, and I would do a little video. And all I did was just use my phone. I would, I would either have it on me or I would have it on the business, or like when I went to the car show, I was just walking around having my phone, taking pictures or taking a video of the cars, and they're revving their engines. And it was just a really cool thing. And I'm talking about the event, and they weren't long videos. You can start out very small, but just getting something out there that you feel passionate about. And now I'm doing longer videos where I'm doing like more educational videos with travel about, like getting ready for packing for a trip. Or if, like for me, I do a lot of things by myself, and that's something that it's something when people are traveling, like, okay, what are the best things to do when you're traveling alone or when you're eating out by yourself? And I just recently did a video about that. So it's really just, it doesn't have to be overwhelming with it. If you want to do vlogging, just do a couple short videos of something, go to a place that you love, and you could be outside the building like, hey, I love this restaurant and they have this wonderful steak, or a vegetarian meal, or whatever it is, and just putting your passion into it. Like, I know when I do videos, I'm like, the energy is there, and I just really put your passion and energy in it, because this is something that is important to you. Right. And then with a regular written blog, it's the same thing. And I start out a blog with asking a question, because I really want people to think about, like, I did one recently about a soul place, a soul place that maybe you go to either with traveling or a staycation. I'm like, what kind of place speaks to you and to your soul? And so I like to draw people in with the blogging, and even with a vlog too, that's okay to do that, to ask a question. And then always at the end too, I give a call to action about, okay, let's get out there and let's do this and let's find a place. So, but again, you don't have to get overwhelmed with it. I started off with doing shorter videos and doing shorter blogs, and then you can just build from there.
That's good. I think that's great advice. So, having people start where they are, creating videos, doing things that really speak to their soul, doing what they love, giving some kind of call to action, asking a question. Those are all great tips. So thank you so much, Suzanne, for that. And I know we talked a little bit earlier about some of the books that you published, and all of your books have been best-selling books. We talked a little bit earlier about your first book, The Unsung Heroes,
yes.
The compilation. We talked a little bit about your book, The Night Shift. And I know you have 2 other books that you've also published as well, or that you've co-authored. So can you talk about the other 2 books that we haven't mentioned yet, and where viewers can find your books if they're interested in purchasing your books?
Absolutely. And again, it's another one of my passions with writing, and it's coming in so handy with high-rise tourism. So yeah, Night Shift definitely was my first solo book, and my second one will be coming out soon with that. And then I want my other 2 compilations. One is called What's Self-Love Got to Do with It? And again, this goes with what I do with high-rise tourism, because self-love, when we think about it, we don't always feel built up at times. We look a lot for external validation from different things. It could be people or jobs. And so building up our own inner high rises within us. And that's, again, something that travel and tourism helps with, because when you go out there and you're experiencing so many things, it does something to that inner energy within you. So I did this chapter with the same publisher that I did Night Shift with. And it was about after my car accident, where I got hit by a car, ended up with a traumatic brain injury, and I had to learn to love myself again in the new way that I was. And I've had to construct so many inner high rises within that journey. And then my other book, it's a Your Shift Matters, Resistance to Resilience. And that again was based on a childhood health challenge that I had with childhood asthma. And it was out feeling like you had broken pieces and then finding inner peace within those broken pieces. And writing to me has just allowed me to branch out even further. And I got the courage to be able to start my own business. I have a couple of other businesses that I do besides this, but my high-rise tourism is definitely the biggest passion for me because it's something I do every day in one way or another. I mean, I always make everything an adventure when I go out, and I'm always looking. And even if I'm not outside, I'm researching constantly. Oh, this sounds good. That sounds good. Like the Christmas is coming up. I've already handpicked how many things I'm going to be doing and searching. And that's something too I want to suggest. When you search, like you go into your local tourism, your local tourism chapters, you can put free events in your state or your county or your town. And it's amazing like what comes up. And again, and a lot of it's free. A lot of it is free, like going to a tree lighting or, going to a parade or a festival. I mean, there's so many free or budget-friendly adventures that you can do out there. So, but yeah, so my books are available on Amazon, and you can find them in there. And also Night Shift is on Goodreads, but definitely Amazon, and they're in the hard print and also ebook forms.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Suzanne, and congratulations again on the 4 bestsellers. So I know we're concluding. We're at the end of our interview, and this has been amazing. Thank you so much for coming on the show. We really appreciate you. Thank you to all the viewers who are watching. If viewers want to connect with you, how do they go about doing that?
They can find me on TikTok, which is Tourism Guru Susie. They can also find me on Facebook, Cool Writer Suzanne, and also YouTube at Digital Susie, and Instagram.com Tourism Guru Suzanne La Voie.
Fantastic. Thank you so much, Suzanne. It's been such a pleasure speaking with you today. You're welcome. Learning more about what you love and what you're passionate about. And we're very excited to have you on the show.
Thank you so much. I had a blast.
I did as well. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thank you, everyone, for tuning in today for Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Very excited that you were able to tune into our show. You're invited to tune in next week for our very special guest, Natalie Yovanik of Bright Horizons Therapies. Have an amazing week and make it a purpose-filled day.
Thank you for tuning in to Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson. Our mission is to ignite your spirit and fuel your passion for life. Join us next time for more inspiring stories, empowering guests, and transformative ideas that uplift and motivate. Whether you're chasing dreams, facing challenges, or just seeking a spark of positivity, we're here to inspire you. Together, we'll explore resilience, creativity, and the limitless potential within us all. So, until next time, stay inspired from your friends at Purpose Today with Dr. April Dobson.
Looking for inspiration, motivation, and the good news of Jesus Christ? Look no further. The Daily Gospel Network has what you need. With more than 300 ministries from all over the country broadcasting every week, you're sure to get your dose of spirit-filled encouragement from the great programs on the Daily Gospel Network. Catch the Daily Gospel Network on Roku, Amazon Fire, Apple TV, all mobile devices, and the internet.
Attention ministry leaders. Have you ever considered growing your ministry with television? Well, the Daily Gospel Network could be what you've been looking for. As one of the nation's largest Christian broadcasting companies, the Daily Gospel Network broadcasts all over the world on popular streaming platforms like Roku, Amazon Fire, and Apple TV. If you're looking to grow and reach more people, the Daily Gospel Network could be your solution.